everybody, J-Dub here, and I just finished filming the Katsudon episode, and very excited. I'm looking forward to eating my creation. The past two episodes, tempura and Katsudon, used a lot of oil. And it might that might scare some people, because cooking oil is expensive. But there is a way around it. Basically, you can reuse cooking oil. I know that probably a lot of you bachelors and bachelorettes out there who don't do a lot of cooking don't know that. But you can totally, and you're supposed to, reuse cooking oil. Now, how I do it is that I find a container. I have another oil bottle that I keep for extra cooking oil, and when I've used it, when it's all cooled down, I strain it with a little hand strainer into a glass Pyrex or something, and then that gets out all the bits that are inside of it. Or you can even use a coffee filter or a type of funnel if you want, and then you just pour it right back in. And it totally can be reused. If you have gotten it to a point where you're done with it, you can get these oil cake maker thingies. I got this at my Oriental market. And basically what this does is it hardens the oil. So you don't dump it into the sink or something, because you don't want to dump cooking oil into the sink. And throwing it out into the garden or something is kind of a waste. Now, if you do have a compost heap, then totally reuse it in your compost heap once it's cooled down. The wormies will love you for it, and it biodegrades just very nicely. So you can totally do that too. There's a lot of ways, but honestly, reuse your cooking oil. I know that some people even take cooking oil, will pour it into it, and then add herbs into it. This is before they do anything. They just add herbs to it, and then they'll get the herbs nice and infused into it, and then they'll strain out the herbs and they'll pour it back into the bottle, and then they'll just mark it that they've had this herb infused oil. There's a lot of ways to do it, and as a matter of fact, you can see my used oil container. And I haven't used today's cooking oil. I haven't strained it out. I'm actually waiting for it to cool. But totally reuse it. Don't worry about the color. And don't worry about the flavors either. Unless you want something to be very, very vibrant in its original flavor, you can reuse heating cooking oil. One of my friends, actually I was talking to my friend Carl Quick the other day, and he said he and his buddies used to cook stuff into it, and into their cooking oil until it was like 30 weight. And then he said they'd cook potatoes in it and get it to where it was, previously. So there's lots of ways, and so don't feel bad about buying cooking oil thinking you're going to, throw it away after a little while. It's good for about 5 more uses. It's just a frugal thing. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can reuse things like this. Anyways, Katsudon is definitely one of my more favorite meals. I really enjoy it, and ever since I found out how to cook it, I actually kind of cook it a lot. I like to cook it for friends, for family. You can also find pork fairly easy. Now, some of you may notice that the pork I used was kind of gimpy looking. It had a weird E look to it. That's because those were actually pork chops. And I actually took off, I took off the bone. I was going to show you the bone, but I threw it away. And I got a packet of 8 pieces of pork chop for a screaming deal. I got it for $9 at my grocery store. And then what I did was I just took out what I needed, saran wrapped the rest, put it in the freezer. Now I'll be using it within the month, probably within the month. So that won't go to waste. It's, you know, find good deals and then freeze what you've got. They make for good dinners later on. And heck, you know, being pork chops, it'll be fine to cook for breakfasts or something as well, or just cook some pork chops and use some applesauce, baby. I don't remember that movie very well. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching what I do. If you have any comments, or if you have a dish that you would like me to make, let me know. I'd be happy to do something in the future. Also, you may notice that next week's episode will not be a Japanese recipe. Yes, I'm going to do international foods. What will I do? Stay tuned.